Cool, yeah, looks like I'm live. Right, yeah, let's get started. So today we're gonna have a little play around with near contracts. So this is a little bit of a departure from the Unity stuff because we do need to get a contract up and running. We do need to have the ability to mint something from that contract so that we have something in our game to pull in and integrate with. So this is a little bit of a departure, but hopefully not going to be too difficult. You are going to need Visual Studio Code, I think, because that will make things easy, especially when we come to creating the minting site. It does kind of, it has Emmet built in, which kind of helps scaffolding out HTML and stuff. But you know, any other text editor will do. You'll just have to do a bit more typing, I think. Right, let's. So what I would suggest doing is going to File, Open Folder, create yourself a new folder called near, and which is exactly what I've done, and then just open that folder, and then I've got this blank folder that I've got open here, right? And I mean, I can reveal in Explorer, open up here, you can see it's just blank, right? So we've got this blank folder, and then we want to open up a terminal. So we go new terminal and open up a terminal. And we're going to want to clone a repo, right? So what does that mean? What's a repo, etc., etc. Let's no, I don't want that. Let me close that. I want this. We want to clone this NFT tutorial.js repo. And this is a pretty good repo because it kind of just has a nice NFT contract in which you can kind of use out the box. It talks you through a lot of the core functionality of a contract, so you can go through all this if you want. And actually they do have, let me see if I can find it. I think I've got a link to it. Yeah. Yes. They do have some tutorials as well that are really handy to follow along with, which kind of point essentially at this Git repo and takes you through it. But I'll go through it, and I'll go through it in my own way, and we'll see where we get to. Right, so we want to clone the repo, which basically just means we want to copy all this code down onto our machine. And we can do this by just, so you want to make sure you go here, right? So in fact what I should do really is copy this into my Discord. Yeah, that's probably what I should do. Let me just do that now. I'll copy this into the Discords. Let's have a look. I will post it in Hangouts, but I'll also post it in my courses channel, wherever that is, because everything's been moved around. Oh my god, I can't find anything here now. Where's my channel gone? Oh, I'll paste it. It's in the voice hangout. I'll paste it in later. Oh no, found it. Okay, good. I'll paste it in here after all the Spanish chat. Okay, so we should be able to come down to this quick start and we can click on here, copy, and let's just paste this into our Visual Studio terminal here. Are you sure you want to paste 3 lines? Yes, I do. And that actually will go away and pull down the code, and actually we'll build it. It actually works a little bit sleeker on the Mac. I'm running on a Windows machine now, and I needed to hit enter for it to carry on, but on the Mac it just seems to work. Let's hope I don't have any problems on a Windows machine. We'll see, I guess. Right, I kind of want to go into this folder and reopen it in Visual Studio Code, so I'm going to do that. So what I can do is cd nft tab isn't working. Okay, nft dash. Oh right, now I'm already in that directory. That's why it's complaining. So if I go code dot -r, that will reopen that window in that folder. So basically just, there you go. So I'm actually in the folder and that's looking a bit nicer now. Open that up. So let me just do that build again. So what was it? Yarn and yarn build. Yeah, and yarn build. Well, maybe it's not going to be happy on a Windows machine. What on earth is it complaining about? Let me try npm instead. npm install. So that's a pretty good start. And I blame it on Windows. Let's actually try and open up a different terminal. Maybe PowerShell might work better. Let's try that. So presumably that should be happy. Build. No. Huh. Well, this could be a rather depressingly short tutorial if that's the case.
Don't give up. Keep thinking critically about the problem.
Yeah. I mean, that is interesting. And yeah, I'll go back to Bash actually, because I'm happier in Bash. What's it trying to do that's weird? Not a lot, really. Because they have a Rust, they actually have a Rust version of this. But I would have thought the JavaScript one would actually be more likely to work. I'll tell you what, let's I mean, it almost seems like it's a TypeScript issue. Okay, let's try it again. So if I do file, open folder, let's create a new folder in here called near. And let's do it bit by bit and see what happens. So I'll just do this bit first. Copy. Terminal. I'll CD into this. Then it's just a yarn and a yarn build. Let's try that. Yarn. Ah, right, it doesn't like doesn't like Win32 on Earth. That is so weird. Okay, well, I may have to put off this tutorial and do it on my Mac, because this looks as if it's not happy with being built on a Windows machine, which is a little bit annoying.
This is a bit of a strange problem. Does that happen often with coding, that the machine matters?
Yeah, I mean, this is the whole reason why you have things like Docker, because Docker kind of formalizes the environment. And so this is, I mean, this is just exactly what happens, right? That things will work on one machine but not on another. And you don't get anything more different than like a Windows machine and a Linux or a Mac machine. I presume this would probably work fine on Linux as well. But yes, I mean, I was doing all the testing on a Mac, works absolutely fine. And I mean, this is pretty uncommon nowadays, to be honest, because Node is usually pretty good. I wonder if it's. Let me just see what version of Node I'm running. 16.13.1. Let's have a look. Node. Good try doing that, installing the latest version of Node. But I doubt it's gonna be that, but we can try. So for the full course, For these streaming ones, these are just kind of winging it a bit. But for the full course, I will have to go through setting up the environment for people, because not everyone's going to have Node installed or VS Code installed. And so there's really a whole sort of prerequisites video series that I'm going to have to go through, that I have on my other courses as well, where it just goes through, you know, make sure Node's installed, make sure you've got Visual Studio Code installed, make sure you've got Git installed, all those sort of things. Right, let's see. Will that pick up that new version? Yeah, it has. Okay, let's try that then. So, yarn. Nah. That's going to be pretty interesting to try and figure out what the error is there. It looks like it's this FS events thing, which God knows what it's worried about. Okay, well, I think probably the easiest thing to do is for me to do the tutorial, this tutorial that I was planning today. I'll do a longer one tomorrow, and I'll do it on the Mac, because unless I figure this bit out, and it's probably good in a way, because there's probably someone on Windows who will run into this, and they'll just have to either figure it out, if I don't figure it out, or they'll just have to get up an Ubuntu, or find a Mac to run this stuff on. So cool. Well, sorry about that, guys. I think I will call it quits, because I don't think we can go much further without. I mean, I could go through the minting page maybe. Yeah, shall I do the minting page? That might be interesting, because the minting page doesn't actually need any of the Node or NPM stuff. It's just basically pretty straightforward HTML and JavaScript. Let's do a bit of that, and then at least that's a bit fun, and we can do a little bit of it, and then it's a little bit less to do tomorrow. Let's do that then, because that's going to be pretty cool to do. So let me let's create another folder in here, new folder, and let's call this mint page. And I'm going to do a cd cd mint page, like so, and I'm going to do this code.-r. The -r just means reuse the window, so basically it's just reopening code, Visual Studio Code, but in the mint page folder. Cool. Right. Let's create an index.html. And right.
I know how to do that. Yes, index.html. I can do that.
Are you sure? Are you sure you can?
I do know a basic HTML and CSS. No, I don't really know it, but you know, I knew it 10 years ago.
Well, this is the bit I was telling you about with Emmet, right? So with Visual Studio Code, I think you get Emmet installed automatically for free, and you can scaffold out something by just doing HTML:5, and ba-ba, you know, a minute of coding done for you.
Shouldn't coding be like this, like for everything, you know? You just just user friendly.
That is very user friendly. Just yeah, just start typing and it fills it all in for you. Right, and let's see. So I'll just do H1 tag here, and I'll just say we're gonna mint stuff on this page, and Control S. I'm just saving as I'm going along. Right, now the way there's a really cool extension in Visual Studio Code where you can just get a live server up and running and see your page immediately. So I can right click on this index.html, click open with live server, and there you go. I've got my page. Simple as that, right? So that's pretty cool. So let me just show you how to install that extension. So if you come down to these blocks down here, these are extensions, and then you just start typing live server, and it is this top one by Ritwik Day, and yeah, if you just click on it, and you can click yours here would say install, and pretty handy, right? Because you can just immediately I think it's like really immediate. Like if you, yeah, there you go. Like if I just save it, just refreshes. Oh, wait a minute. Can you? Yeah. I guess the people on YouTube can't see that, so I need to be a little bit careful. On the Discord server, you can see my whole screen, so you'll be able to see that. But on, let me just see what they can see on YouTube. Oh yeah, no, they can see that. That's fine. So just do that, and then yeah. So I was just showing that you can do that, and it immediately updates. So quite a nice experience for creating HTML pages quickly. Right, and I'm not going to use any React or anything like that. I want this to be like the most basic Mint site you could possibly imagine, so that you don't get confused with the code and stuff and CSS or anything. I probably will do a little bit of CSS, but nothing too much. Right, okay, so what do we want? Let me think. If I do a div up here, and let's say we'll do a paragraph ... and what I'll do in here is I will shove in the account. So this will be our wallet account. So morganpage.near, whatever, right? So this is when we're logged in. And let's do some buttons for logging in. So do a button here, which I'll give it an ID of, let's see, sign in button. It's actually good to get this stuff over and done with, actually, because this will be this will mean that we can focus on the contract tomorrow. If I do save, there you go, you can see immediately we've got our sign in button, simple as that. Let's have a look. We'll copy that and do a sign out button, like that. Sign out, and then I'm just going to do another let's think. Let's just do the sign in and sign out for the moment. I think that'll be enough to start with. So we need a script now, a direct link to the Near API JS. So let's just Google this. Hopefully I'll be able to find it. So Near API JS CDN. There you go, I think that would do. Maybe not that one. Ah, there you go. Their documentation's got it. So you can just copy that and paste that in there, like so. So this is the whole of the Near's API for logging into wallets and all that sort of stuff, and talking to contracts and stuff. So that one line has given us a lot of power. And then what I'm going to do is just write the code. Could write it directly in here, but I think I will write it in a separate file. Called index.js, and it's going to be a module. So yeah, it's kind of reading my mind, my code. That's good. Let me just paste this in to the Discord server as well. I guess if you're following along, you probably Googled it, but let me just paste it in. Too complicated for me. Oh, that's Anna. Anna. It's not too complicated, it's fine. Oh, I don't like the way it's pasted that into the Discord server. Let me just paste the string in. There you go. Cool, right. So we need this index.js now, so let's just do that. So new file, index.js. And let's get to coding. Let's have a look. We do want another file, config.new file, config.js. And this is going to hold all the information that's needed to connect to either your testnet or mainnet. And again, we probably be good to copy this from somewhere. Let's see where I can copy this from, because otherwise it's going to be a lot of typing. Oh, this is perfect. There you go. This is exactly what I need. So, or close anyway. So at the top here, I can do const key stores, not ket stores, key stores, and I'll pull that out of the Near API. So because we've imported the Near API where here, it's available to us directly here. Okay, so we can do that, and then we can do export function get config and and env like so. So we want a switch statement, and I'll explain this all a little bit more in a second, but let me just get some code written here. So case, I'm not going to call it production because I just want to be a bit more specific, so I want to do mainnet, and here I want to return this. So I want mainnet one to start with, so that it is all this here. Just copy that, paste in here, and I want to create the key store in place, so I'm just going to do get rid of that rather unhelpful comment, and then just do new key stores dot, oh my god, this is long, browser, I mean, I'm probably going to paste it wrong. Ah, there you go. Gosh, this is much better. Let me just paste that in like so. And again, like I say, I'll explain this in a second. Let me just finish this. So we just want one more case. We're almost there. So one more case, return, and I just need to paste in, well, it's this. Where's it got two here? So that's connecting into it. Okay, yeah, fine. So this is copied down to there. I think we're good. Right, let me just explain this then. Okay, so this I can then easily get whichever config I want, right? So if I want to talk to the mainnet, i.e. my main wallet, morganpage.near, then I would send into config mainnet, and I would get back everything I need to connect to the near blockchain on the mainnet. If I send in testnet, then I'm on the test network and I get everything back that I need to connect to the testnet. And what it does is this stores it the information for that connection in local storage in your browser, right? So that's what that's doing. So nothing too fancy. But this is really handy to have. I need something like this actually in my Unity one, because at the moment I'm just fixed to mainnet and I haven't really got an easy way to switch between the two. So yeah, could do something similar in the Unity thing, but anyway, I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. Okay, so let's go back to index.js and then we can import that. So we can do an import get config from .config.js and then I can do a const near config is equal to get config, and I'm just going to pass in yeah, let's do testnet to start with, and let me just console log out near config so we know that we're good. Right. So we're pulling that in. Yeah, that should work. So let's just double check that. We're on port 5500. Where is the... Oh, there it is. Alright, let's just bring up the inspector, the console I mean. Let's bring it down to the bottom, so like so. Console. There you go. Yeah. So it's logging out this, and we have this object that's got all the information we need in, and that all looks like it's picking up the key store, doing all the stuff it should do. That's good. So we've got a lot already, right? So let's think about the contract. So if I do contract ID and let's have a look. So if I bring up my wallet, let's kill that, on testnet, look in my collectibles. Obviously I've been hacking around with things. So let's see what contract I've got. Ah, there you go. I've got a contract here that I can play around with. So let me just copy that. So this is the contract ID here. I can go back and I'll just paste it in. And then at least we've got something we can play around with. Cool. Now then, let's pull out of the Near API the kind of stuff that we're going to need. So we're going to need connect. Well, it's kind of prompting with everything I need. I don't need key stores though, so let's just get rid of that. But I do need wallet connection and contract. So we've got everything out of the Near API that we need. Now let's hook up our buttons. And how are we doing for time? Right, only got 15 minutes. So I tell you what, we'll get as far as signing into the wallet, right? So, you know, next 15 minutes we'll be solidly signed in and you know, got a connection to our wallet. So. Which will be a pretty cool place to get to. So this is sign in button, I think. No, I don't like get element by. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I suppose get element by ID. That's fine. So that will get this sign in button, at least a reference to it. So that will do that. That will get a reference to the sign out button. What else do we need? I haven't set up the mint button yet, so let's just skip that for the moment. But we do. Let's have a look. Did we add a? Yeah, we added a way to show our account. So let's just call this account P. And yeah, let's get that. Cool. And just so you can see what that does, if I just do say account P dot, I don't know, yeah, in a HTML loading like that, then you can see that I can just basically override, set the what's inside the paragraph element. So that's how that works. Right, what do we need to do now? Well, we need to get a connection to near. So I want to call this near connection, and I want to connect, but I want to await so that I don't get a promise back, but I actually get a proper connection back. And I want to use that to get a wallet connection. So that does that for me. Really does feel like Visual Studio is filling everything out for me at the moment. So I've got the near connection, and as you can see, I'm using this near config, which is here, and so this would be a test net connection, and if I change this to mainnet, this would be a mainnet connection, right? So that's how that works. Let's hook up our sign in button now. So if I do sign in button dot on click is equal to wallet connection dot request sign in contract ID. Perfect. That's exactly what we want, and this is exactly what I want as well. So this is sign in and sign out. So these functions here are functions on the wallet connection for signing in and signing out of the wallet. Perfect. Right. Now what we do want to do is, because what will happen is when we click this sign in button, it will go away and take us to the near wallet in the browser, and then it will send us back to this page. And so we want to detect if we're already signed in, because initially we won't be, but when we click on this sign in button, we come back, hopefully we will be. So how do we do that? Well, we want to handle the window on load. So we want to check on load, on the window on load, if we are signed in. So let's see. So do let is signed in is equal to wallet connection is signed in. So if we're signed in, then, well, for the moment, let's just console log out that we're signed in. So we are signed in. Else console.log out we are not signed in. Missing a curly bracket there, missing a curly bracket here, there. Okay, so it's telling us helpfully there, here we are not signed in, right? And we know that, that's good. But what would be kind of cool is if we're not signed in, we just want to show the sign in button, not the sign out button, because we can't sign out if we're not signed in. So let's do sign out button dot style dot display is none. There you go. No sign out button now. Nice and easy. Whereas if we're signed in, we want to show our account in here and show the sign out button, not the sign in button. So I guess we can do sign in button display none, So that's cool. And then we want to do account p dot inner text is equal to, and we should be able to get our account ID. Let's be a little bit friendlier than this. We can do something like welcome, like that. Let's check it out. Chance of this working, fingers crossed. Let me just bring this over here so you can see it. Now I don't want to recover my account live, but I know that in here I'm logged in, so let me just get this up and running in here instead. So let's do, what is it, localhost, is it 5500? Yeah, there you go. So let's do that in here instead. Let's show our console. We are not signed in. Click sign in. Let's sign into my testnet account. Let's click connect. There you go. Welcome morganpage.testnet, and we can sign out. Unfortunately, if we click sign out, it won't do anything. Although if we hit refresh, it will. So we just need to force a refresh on the sign out. So let's just do that for completeness. So we can do we can sign out, then we do a window dot location, I think it is. I've seen it done a lot more complicated than this. I don't know whether reload just doesn't work on every browser, but I'm going to use this because it does, as far as I know, it works on when I've used it. Anyway, we'll soon see, won't we? So if we sign in, next, connect. Signed in, sign out. And testnet, you know, is down quite often. It was down for quite a while the other day. So if things take a little while or it don't work, just double check that testnet's up and running. And for this sort of stuff, you can, well, I mean, let's do it. Let's we should be able to log into mainnet, right? Sign into mainnet. So we've just a change of, well, actually, it probably won't work because this contract doesn't exist on mainnet. But that's right, isn't it? Mainnet, yeah. So we should be able to just change that to that. But like I said, oh, let's just kill this. Sign out, sign in. There you go. Yeah, it does not exist. So I need to then go and go to my main wallet and find something that does exist, which this hooked exists, right? So let's just click on this, and that's hooked. We were using that in Unity, weren't we? Right, so let's just copy that. Oh, I want to go back, so let's just I'll just say for mainnet, and then this one here. Because I keep, because I'm on the Mac half the time, keep pressing the wrong keys, and well, it's obvious, but this is for testnet. Just so I can easily swap between the two, copying and pasting. So let's paste this in here, and yeah, we're on mainnet. Let's just come in here, come back here. Just do a refresh, do sign in. There you go, happier. And next, connect. Yeah, there you go, we're connected on mainnet now. So that's a pretty good place to stop. I think that was almost the hour. Yeah, sorry about the contracts, building and stuff. I'll either figure that out for tomorrow, or if not, then I will just use my Mac to build the contracts. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll add a mint button here, and then we'll be able to mint something on a web page, which is kind of cool.
Impressive. Love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I like keeping everything like vanilla on the on JavaScript, because I think people forget, right? They always reach for Next.js or React or, you know, all these other frameworks, and the reality is, if you just kind of want to understand, like we're trying to understand the Near API here, right? We're just trying to understand how to log in. All this code and what you're calling and everything is very similar. It doesn't really matter whether you're in React or anything really. You know, all the Near API stuff is going to be pretty the same. And so it's good to use vanilla JavaScript, because you don't have to worry about all the React stuff that just confuses people sometimes.
Yeah, understand.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays JavaScript's pretty powerful, you know, and you can hook things up fairly quickly, and you know, you can do imports and things nice, and you know, ES6 is great that it's got all this sort of extra functionality that yeah, just makes, you know, plain old JavaScript is pretty nice nowadays. And you know, this is a very simple bit of HTML. I haven't even got any CSS in here, so it looks ugly, but you know, you can spend half the day just prettifying everything. But if you're just trying to learn essentially how to interact with a contract and call some some functions on the contract, all the prettiness and the CSS and all that sort of stuff is just going to get in your way, understanding that. So you don't want to spend too much time doing that. I'm saying the wrong person, because you're a designer, so you like it. You know, it's important to you for this, that this looks nice, but obviously that comes later.
No, I understand. This is development. So perhaps has noted, show us how to drain wallets. Perhaps this is not a good joke because we are streaming. So that shouldn't. No, I'm joking. For educational purposes, of course. This is not covered in this course or any course. All right. For anyone just staying in this space, I'll be around. I know that some people wanted to talk, or we can do it a bit later. That's fine as well.
Cool. Yeah. Sounds good. Like I say, we'll do the contract tomorrow, and we'll be minting from that contract. So we'll create a contract, we'll mint from it. It's good actually that I'm glad I didn't abandon things and shoot off. I'm glad that I carried on and did the site, because that did actually take an hour, right, to just to do this. And we don't need to add much more. We just need to add another button for minting and another couple of lines of code. So we can really focus on the contract tomorrow, and that'll be kind of cool. Good. Okay, thanks everyone. Hope you found that useful, and maybe you've never played around with vanilla JavaScript. Maybe you always reach for React and stuff. So you know, guys that are just might have actually just decided, oh, actually, vanilla JavaScript's quite cool and quite powerful, which it is. You can do a lot with it. So always handy to know a bit of vanilla. Okay, bye.
Bye.